Hello and welcome to the drive on Destinta Drive. My name's Dion, and today is the 23rd of November, the day after Thanksgiving. It's also Tie-Dye Friday. Didn't have a lot of comments this week, which is fine, but I was reminded of something that I loved about growing up in LA. Now, at one point in time or another, I had a YouTube channel where I had actually spoken about my love of growing up in Los Angeles area and KTLA, which was Channel 5. Channel 5 was awesome because they had really good programming. And one of the things that I remember about KTLA, Channel 5, was that every Thanksgiving and Independence Day, or the 4th of July, they would do a Twilight Zone Marathon. So you'd get up like at 6 in the morning and the Twilight Zone was on, or you'd get up later and it would be on, and it would go up until like 9 o'clock at night, right before the fireworks started if it was Independence Day, or up through, I think they actually started in the morning and then went all the way up until the news time, which was 10 o'clock. And it was great. And they have continued this even till today. So, I'm many years away from being the 13-year-old kid that watched it, and they're still doing it today. In fact, they did it yesterday, and it was really kind of cool to see that was still happening. And I just loved watching the Twilight Zone Marathon, and it really was just this fabulous thing. Now, I grew to love the Twilight Zone when I was homesick from school or during the summer, because KTLA would show 2 episodes of the Twilight Zone at noon daily during the weekdays. And so having this wonderful, huge block of the Twilight Zone was fabulous. Now, the Twilight Zone was primarily written by a guy named Rod Serling. And I remember as a kid I always thought it was Sterling, but it's Serling. And he was just this fabulous man who took stories, wrote them for the television screen, and he wasn't afraid of the stories that he was telling. They were stories that were truly frightening for their time. It was the middle of the Cold War, and it was just a scary time to be alive. I'm guessing I didn't live during the Cold War, at least I lived at the end of the Cold War. But it was just this awesome show, and if you take the premise of some of the shows, they were just horrifying things, and he got away with it, especially with the censorship that existed at the time, or not the censorship, but just maybe you just didn't do stuff like that on TV back then. It was just not known or accepted. And he did it, and it was great. So, I just would love to say thanks to KTLA for the Twilight Zone Marathon that you gave me as a kid, and knowing that still it happens now. And I've gotten to introduce a few Twilight Zones to my own kids, and they really dig the freakiness of the show and the M. Night Shyamalan twist that was the twist before M. Night Shyamalan was twisting. So, great stuff. The Twilight Zone. The nice thing about the Twilight Zone is a lot of the episodes are available streaming on Netflix, and I did watch 5 or 6 episodes yesterday, and it was just really good to revisit. And I actually went to some shows that I'd never seen before, or if I'd seen them, I'd only seen them once, and it was just great. And then I was able to, do a little research and found out that, KTLA was showing the Twilight Zone yesterday, all through the day. And it's got to be 30 years now that they've been doing it. Or more, I don't know. But it's definitely an LA tradition. And KTLA, I just have really good, fond memories of KTLA. I actually did a whole podcast about my love of Tom Hatton and what he did for young people by, I've actually heard it paraphrased as creating a film school for Saturdays and Sundays, and that was the family film festival, and it was just, he was just a fabulous man, still is as far as I know. And so Tom Hatton, good stuff. Thanks KTLA for providing such wonderful entertainment to my youth. I appreciate it, and it's always going to have a very strong place in my heart. You know, just 3 o'clock on Saturday, 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, you got Tom Hatton, and he would introduce a movie, and he would talk about it for a little bit, and then you'd watch the movie some more, and then they'd go to commercial, and he'd come back and tell you a little bit more about the way the movies were made, or interesting stories about the story that was being told. Like, I always remember an Italian version of Pinocchio that had really, really bad dialogue that was redubbed over it. And it was just so good that he did that. So, I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Mine was rather quiet, and I did eat poultry yesterday. It was not turkey, but it was poultry, and I did brine it, and that is just the way to go when it comes to having a Thanksgiving feast. Brined meat that gets roasted, in my case, grilled. So, anyway, have a happy weekend. It's Tie-Dye Friday, so hopefully you're feeling colorful. I know that I am, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm actually going a different way home because I'm kind of avoiding some of the street traffic that's involved in Black Friday. So, have a great day. Don't forget to stay buckled up and drive safe. And follow me on the normal social media. And here on YouTube, don't forget to share, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later. And here's some Madison.